Hey guys, so Skarner's lore, or new expanded lore, got put up today, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a reading of it. I will be doing a Moo next, and then we will go from there as to who we will do while we're waiting for um, Rammus's expanded lore to be put up, since there were a few days in between each section so far. So this is Skarner the Crystal Vanguard. We are one, we cannot be shattered. Skarner is an immense crystalline scorpion from the Hidden Valley in Shurima. Part of an ancient Bracken race, Skarner and his kin are known for their great wisdom and deep connection to the land. Their souls are fused with powerful life crystals which hold living thoughts and memories of their ancestors. In an age-long past, the Bracken entered hibernation to avoid untold magical destruction, but recent threatening events have roused Skarner. As the only Bracken awake, he strives to protect his kind from those who seek to harm them. Long before men traversed the scorched deserts of Shurima, the very sand itself shone with primal, unchained magic. In a remote valley surrounded by stiff cliffs and jagged rock formations, an age-old race of Bracken unearthed raw crystals from deep within the sand. Each of these noble creatures infused with a single stone, which retain their consciousness long after their death. The demise of a Bracken was a rare occurrence, as their worldly lives stretched across millennia, but even death did not signify the ending. When a creature's mortal form perished, the life stone was buried in the valley for safekeeping until a new Bracken could uncover it. This practice protected the vulnerable crystals while preserving the wisdoms of the ones who came before. With a finite number of stones, the young Bracken searched for the crystal meant for them, just as the consciousness within the stones beckoned to the Bracken. It had to chosen to inherit its magic and memories. In a sacred rite, the rock fused with crystalline flesh, imbuing the creature's mind with memories and knowledge and flooding them with primal magic. A Bracken without a crystal would not long survive, for they lacked the strength, longevity, and power instilled in the stones. A young creature named Skarner spent many years searching for the crystal meant for him, afraid that he would die before finding it. He grew more persistent in his search each passing moon. Day and night he delved deep into the ground, digging in methodical pattern that covered the entire valley and neighboring hills in intricate spirals. Skarner had all but given up when he finally felt an ancient consciousness tugging at his mind. He burrowed down, venturing ever deeper into the world's heart until the world's heart warmed his shell. Days passed, and the consciousness grew more insistent and urged him onward. Skarner's pincers closed on well-worn stone, and he heard a rasping whisper in the back of his mind. Though his voice was faint, he already felt intimately connected to its awareness. He knew he had found his stone. The crystal was larger than he had seen, so time-worn that its glow had faded to a soft glimmer. Its surface was cracked in several places and dulled from eons buried in the ground. Skarner examined the rock with the tenderest touch, afraid of further damaging something so ancient. The dim light within pulsed as though breathing in response to Skarner's presence. Skarner began the bonding ritual, burying himself deep underground with the crystal for weeks without sustenance. Though he ached with fatigue and his limbs atrophied in starvation, he was not afraid, for the voice within the stone comforted him. When the crystal finally fused with his body, he was overwhelmed with emotion as ancient memories and wisdom permeated his thoughts. He witnessed moments of incredible joy and crushing sorrow from generations long deceased. He felt magic all around him, suffusing his body with a deep connection to the world, though through a low constant hum, and senses communicating in wordless meeting of minds. When the cataclysmic forces of the Rune Wars began to devastate the world, the Bracken feared the turmoil would soon mark the end of their species. They resolved to hide in hibernation until humans wiped themselves out. It seemed certain they would, for only then would it be safe to emerge from the sands once more. The crystalline scorpions buried themselves deep in the Shuriman desert, and the youngest and most ferocious positioned closest to the surface, ready to awaken first and defend the others in case of danger. The strength Skarner had gained from his ancient lifestone made him more powerful than almost all of his kin, so he was one of the last of his kin to enter the long slumber. They slept in peaceful isolation as centuries passed before Skarner awoke from his shallow burrow in panic. Deafening explosions shattered the ground, targeting the bracken where they lay sleeping, stunning those closest to the surface. A band of robbers had discovered the dormant creatures and were prying the crystals from crystalline flesh. Skarner, protected from the brunt of the attacks by his crystal, erupted from the sands in a terrible frenzy of sharp pincers and poisonous stabs. Though their numbers had all but overwhelmed him, he killed many of the thieves. The rest fled in terror. Skarner was horrified to learn that he was the only one awake, and many of his pupils' crystals had already been stolen. Skarner tried to revive his dormant companions, but the men had broken so many life stones in their thoughtless theft that the several bracken with damaged stones died moments after Skarner woke them, while the others would not wake at all. For weeks Skarner paced the sands above his sleeping brethren in sorrowful mourning. He was certain the crystals would quickly perish to the hands of men, and mourn their losses too. Yet the sun broke over the horizon many weeks later. Skarner heard distant echoings calling in his mind. The cries were faint, but rang clear over the land. The voices of lost stones reached out to him terror, imploring Skarner to reconnect them with their kin. Skarner hesitated, torn as to whether he should rescue the lost crystals or continue guarding the still living bracken. After weeks spent erasing all traces of the excavation, he could not stand to hear the minds of his kin suffering at the hands of violent humans, and resolved to set out to save the missing crystals. Skarner began the arduous task of tracking down the stones, hoping no others would discover his kin beneath the sand. Though his search was lonely, he occasionally hears the lost crystals calling to him, and a feeling that brings joy and anguish in equal measure. He focuses his sorrow and unshakable determination, and refuses to rest until he has discovered every last life stone. Dream Song. The softskins broke our slumber of a thousand spins. For many long ages I sensed the world's dizzying movements. Stars exploded and died above me, though I did not see them. I felt the warmth of the sun flood the sand with life. When my heart pulse slowed, I curled into the dry sand to warm my body for long sleep. The time below would be lovely, that the earth would not respond to my touch. But all around me were kin, and I sensed them rustling in their slumber. I listened to their silent murmurs reaching for my mind. I heard their dream songs of worlds upon worlds, a place without softskins, without fear or pain or doubt, a place of great peace. In the sand we are all connected. We dream as one, not just the singers, but all living things. The worms curling around rock canes, the mole rats burrowing tunnels to birth their young, and even a family of soft fur spiderlings who rested for the night in the deep dark. I thought the rocks would be immobile, cold and caring, but they too were part of us. The stones were warm, and the deeper we burrowed, and the closer we got to the world's womb fire. Each time the underground boiled in rage, there I was. The tremors shook the sands until I sank back with my own anger. We are one, we are all. Your anger is mine. I hear its gratitude in the Rantan time, when wet drops soaked the sand and the earth grew fat and full. When the softskins came, the ground only knew pain. Our songs became cries as we were torn and broken and scattered. I heard the sorrow song from the softskins, unearthed my kin. They tore crystal namestones from our bodies as we screamed, louder than earthquakes, and stole them away. I sang long into many nights, and I sang until my heart was empty and cold, but they did not return. Today I am alone in the above place. Today the dry wind burns my skin. With every step the sand grinds against me in protest. I fight my urge to bury myself down, to go inside the earth's deep dark. I am not a part. I am one. I am part of the one, not beyond. Far from far away, the song of pain fear reaches me. The tone is faint, but I recognize the melody, and I send out a song of my sorrow. A note of hope rings back in my mind, clear and fine. Almost. Almost. Another set of stars whirl ahead, and again the endless, blinking universe stares down at me. I feel molten heavy with the weight above. I should be down, but I am here, alone in the cold air. I have been above for 3 moons. In the blink of an eye, a sliver of existence, a warming murmur passes silently underground. Yet in the above place, I feel the eternity of alone. Ahead I hear softskins. They do not sing, they shout. Their tones scratch and clash without melody or cohesion. They burn meat flesh over a false fire. The fat smokes the air, and I choke on the stench. Why would they do such a thing? The ground is plenty, plenty for all. The melody calls me weakly, almost. The namestone is close. I must explain. The softskins do not understand. Their race is but 3 turns young. They have only began to dig. They have barely uncoiled the beginnings of the underneath. They speak, but yet I have not yet heard them sing. They will learn. I sing in their minds a song of the calm land, so that they feel the great beauty that awaits us when we sleep, and I sing for my dead kin, so they know what they stole. The softskins do not sing back. They do not seem to hear me, so my voice grows louder in their heads. I sing for our namesakes, wrongfully taken. Bring them back, they are ours. You murdered 1 cluster already. Do not deny our future also. I sing a plea. Let me carry the crystals to the deep dark so that they can bind with us again. I sing to heal this tearing wound. The softskins are still shouting at each other. One of them releases a rhythmic sound. A laugh? I feel as though my body has been crushed by the air, so I burrow, comforted by the weight around me. How can they not see the ruin they've caused? You are heartless, you are crude. How could you ever serve us like this? My husk glows sky-white with rage. I will not let these softskins destroy us. I hear them scream as I erupt from the sand. I summon energy from the ground and store the power in my namestone. A softskin throws a splinter blade, and it hits my leg, shattering on my lucent shell. You sing only death. I too can sing the song. I release sunbright energy, and the sharp crystals burst from the ground, impaling flesh and cracking spines. The false fire spreads in their panic. Their crude structures of twig and hide burn through the darkness, carrying softskins into the flame. Smoke rises in an offering to bring the blinking stars. Softskins run from the chaos, but I am faster. I circle around them and lash out at a straggler, slicing his mid apart with my claw. I crush another underfoot. Lifeblood stains the sand. I roar in grief. I do not sing, not a song, but a cry. Your blood is not worthy to touch the one and the all. My tail lashes left and right and I knock the softskins down. I summon the starbright once again, and more crystals spike from the ground and pierce flesh, so you can hear my song after all. I am crude like them. I am violence. I am death. When I dream, I see only rage, and I am no longer worthy of the deep dark, but I cannot stop. Only one remains. The softskin fumbles with a glowing thin thing of wood and metal. She means to kill me. A false sun blazes from the thing and punctures my hard shell, burning my insides. The light reflects inside my crystal, paralyzing me. I stagger in agonizing pain. I cannot move. I am broken. I am ended. A fading song sings in my mind. Almost, almost, we are one. She aims her weapon again, and I shake with horror as I see the paling namestone strapped to it. Her weapon drains our life energy. We are wasting crystals to power their terrible song. I feel I will burst in fury and pain, but instead I pull strength from the ground. I cry out and lash with my sting, impaling the soft skin as she writhes like a worm. I grasp the weapon and crush it with a claw. It crumbles to dust, only a leaving only a sky white namestone. I hold the crystal in my mouth where it will be safe. Here I am. We are one. I curl my stinger as she falls. I do not return. Do not take our namestones. We are not yours. We are all. We belong only to the deep dark. I leave her alive as she runs. She lives not with my mercy, but because I know she has heard my dream song, and she has no choice but to sing. So that is the end of Skarner's lore. I'll be doing a Moo next, and then I will go from there. Um, if you liked it, you can leave a like and subscribe, and you can comment down below as to if you think I should do something differently, or if you think that um, or if you have any suggestions or anything like that. And I hope that everybody has a nice day.